Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back today to a revamp, basically, of my home theater. So today we're going to be unboxing a brand new screen. It's going to be the Elite Screen Aeon series, the CineGrey. I decided I wanted to go for a gray screen because I know that gray screens do better with deeper blacks, and they often do better with ambient light, not reflecting those lights that you may have in a ceiling, a lamp, the sun, wherever the light is. It does better with not reflecting those things. This one happens to be another 100-inch screen that is borderless, so we're going to actually have that one on the wall instead, and we're going to take this one down. Now, after this video, I'm going to shoot another video comparing a white screen to a gray screen to maybe help you guys see the differences and help you guys pick which one you may want in your home theater. Also, I also bought these Nexilliumi or whatever, Nexillumi, I don't know what they say, but I bought these strips here. This is a 50-foot roll of RGB LED strip lights that are going to go around the projector screen, and I'll have both the projector screen and the lights in the link description down below, and let's go ahead and get to it.
So the first thing that I did was lay down that protective, basically styrofoam that they give you out of the box to kind of keep the screen from touching anything in your room or surfaces that could damage the screen or dirty it up. So I laid that down first. Now I like to go ahead and get all of the things out of the boxes, just get everything, the screws, all the pieces, the parts, the instructions, just lay everything out. And usually these things are labeled by letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G and such, so that you know what is what. So I laid them out in alphabetical order so that we know what's going on. So the first thing I did was open the screen and lay it out and then put the frames around it. Don't do that because the screen just takes up so much space, and you don't even need the screen until way later on in the instructions. The first part you see that I'm doing right now is just assembling the frame together itself. Here in a second you'll see that these little L-shaped brackets will keep the corners of the frames together, that it'll piece the frames together. And then there are two straight brackets that, as you can see right now, I'm screwing into the top middle and the bottom middle of the bars. Those hold the bars in place as well. So you don't even need the screen at this point in time in the instructions. So I kind of just had it in my way. So you'll see me folding it multiple times. Of course, I did use the gloves they give you. There's an example of the bracket there. They're really easy to put together. You just put the two holes lined up on one end, and then you slide the bracket together and screw those other holes in, and you rinse and repeat for every single one of the corners. Now the metal tension rod is very easy to put in too. You just slide it into place there on one side, take the other side, slide it into place. It's going to give you a little bit of tension at the top, so they provided you a nice little rubber mallet to kind of just tap that back into place, and it really taps in easily, not even pushing very hard at all. Slides right into those grooves there, and then you take your screws and screw them in place. So this part is why I say don't unravel the screen too early, because you're actually going to put the frame on top of the screen. I know most projector screens, they have you put the screen on the frames themselves on the back side of it and then hook them that way. This model of screen allows you to hook them with the frame on top of the screen, and then you can hook it that way. So it's actually much easier this way. There are some tension rods that are going to go inside the screen. This is what you're going to use to hook the hooks to. You don't want to hook the screen to the hooks themselves, so you're just ripping a hole into the screen itself. Those tension rods are going to hold on to the hooks for you. So on each corner of the screen is a little slot, so you can slide in those tension rods there, and then later you'll hook the hooks to that tension rod with the provided holes that are already punctured in the screen, telling you where you put those hooks to. So these hooks are really easy to place. You want to put the small end of the hook onto the frame, and then the longer side of the hook goes into the holes inside the screen against the tension rods. Now it's very, very difficult to differentiate the smaller side of the hook versus the longer side. It's very, very minimal. I had to really look hard at them every time I use one to make sure that I had it correctly. You can barely tell a difference. If you have trouble seeing sizes or hard at seeing in general, you may want some help trying to differentiate the sizes. But once you get those corrected, it's very simple. They provide you with a hook tool to pull on the springs to latch them into place against the tension rod. So there's a lot of holes. I think there's maybe a total of maybe 25 or 30, but it doesn't take too long. This is probably the longest part of the whole process, is just putting those tension rods. But lucky to know, once you get past this point here, you're actually done with the assembly. So these LED strips are really cool. So it's 50 feet in total, I believe, of strips here, 25 feet on each, if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't know that. I didn't know they were separate, but that's actually perfect because I ended up not needing all 50 feet. I needed roughly about 20 out of the 25. So this comes with 2 different sets of LEDs, a remote, some zip ties, some 3M hooks, so you can hook it to the wall, a nice remote, all that good stuff here. So you're gonna see how I decided to assemble these lights. Now this screen does have matching LED kit if you want to use the LED kit that Elite Screens recommends, but an LED strip is an LED strip in my personal opinion, so any of them are gonna work. What I decided to do was kind of tuck them behind the springs and kind of keep them secured that way, but it was gonna take far too long for me to loop them through the whole thing. So I ended up getting the spring hook and unhooking the springs themselves, and then just kind of adhering the strips to the frame itself. And then once I did that, I took the hook and I just reapplied them back to the frame. It didn't change the tension because the frame's already in place, so it didn't change my tension. So it was no problem just taking off these hooks here with the hook, pulling them off, and then putting the strips right on there, as you can see, just kind of adhering them to the frame themselves underneath the hook. And then once I put them in place where I like them, I took my hook tool and just reapplied the springs back to the frame over top of the LEDs, so it made it a really nice look, and it doesn't add any extra bulk to the frame itself, to the screen itself, and it kept them nice and secure and a uniform color when I plugged them in.
screen up, and yes, I am in a different outfit now. This video took about 2 days for me to do. I ran out of time last night, so I had to continue it today after work. But nonetheless, the screen is up and it looks absolutely beautiful. I've watched a few things on it so far, and I am more than pleased with this Elite screen. Now, down below in the description is a link to this projector screen in case you want to see what I bought, or maybe you want a screen. That's the one that I got down there. Absolutely beautiful screen. I love the bezel-less kind of design. It takes up less of the wall, it looks minimalistic, and it just looks like a big TV instead of a projector screen, which is actually really, really cool. So guys, here in a couple of days, I'm gonna put a video up comparing the white screen that I have to the gray screen that I now have, and kind of see what's the difference. How does one perform in light versus the other? How does the one perform in dark room versus another? How does one do with colors or vibrancy or HDR? That's what I want to compare in another video, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you are a subscriber in Subscriber Showcase and you entered a home theater, we are going to announce the winners for Subscriber Showcase this week or this weekend too. So we're going to announce those winners. We're going to do a lot of things this weekend, guys. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to be, because we're doing a lot of fun things, a lot of fun projects, and a lot of different experiments that I think you guys may be into. So again, check this next video coming up in the next couple of days. We're going to compare a white screen versus a gray screen and figure out which one's the best for your room. If you guys like the content, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Is a white screen better or a gray screen? Tell me why down below. Why is that better? Leave me that comment, hit that like button, and subscribe if you're not already. We will see you in the next video. Kpaceguy out. Peace.